So shadow work. Shadow work is a huge, huge topic in the spiritual community. Shadow work is essentially bringing to the surface some of those things that we might have pushed down, some of the things that are in the shadows, some of the things that are more in our subconscious. A lot of times it'll trace all the way back to childhood, early childhood, when we develop all of those habits about ourselves. But what happens with shadow work is we bring all of them up to the surface and we kind of examine. We learn what our triggers are. We learn, where our boundaries might not have been set the best. And everybody has shadow work. So I think it's important for people, as we develop through our spiritual journey, we have to do shadow work. Like, shadow work is one of those unavoidable things, because certain parts of our shadow selves or our subconscious can actually keep us from developing our psychic abilities. For example, like in my mentorship sessions, I work with a lot of people on their shadow work because there are issues with like believing that they can do things, or people telling them that what they're doing isn't real, or maybe being scared. That's a huge one when you're trying to tap into your psychic abilities, because a lot of people, when we were young, we had all these abilities and we were doing things, or like, maybe talking to spirits, and then the rest of the world kind of comes crashing in and they tell us like, no, that's bad, that's evil, it's scary. We might have had bad experiences. And in order to unprogram our subconscious brain to think that those things are scary or not good, we have to do shadow work and kind of like fix those things, or at least be able to recognize them when they pop up. So we're like, hey, I know what this is, and you can kind of overcome it and do what you got to do.
Absolutely. Like, it took me forever to like even learn what shadow work was, and like even like therapy is like a form of shadow work. And I didn't put that together until like a long time ago. Like, I kept hearing the spirits say like, do your shadow work. And it was like 6 months ago. Yeah. And I was like, but like how, like what's the meaning and stuff. And there was this garage. I would go on walks every day, and like there was this garage was open, and it had this sign, and it's like a brand, but I don't know what the brand really is, but the sign says "Down with my demons," and it's like 2 hands shaking, and there's like snakes around the hands. And I was like, but what is shadow work? Why? And I kept seeing that sign over and over and over again. And then finally, like, I actually like bought a shadow work journal. I started to like Google it and do a little bit more research on TikTok. And I realized I was like, well, therapy is technically like
it is
a form of like shadow work. So I like started therapy and stuff. And then once I started doing my like shadow journal or shadow work journal, I have not seen that poster since. The garage hasn't been open. It's always been closed since every single time. So it's funny how the spirits send you signs,
Yes.
And it's like those little things that give you the goosebumps. So
constantly speaking. It's so cool.